you know that this has a lifetime guarantee?
No, not by the brand itself.
But by Mr. Mixer, it's our service guarantee. Let's take this thing apart, upgrade it, and fix all of the problem areas.
As you can tell, this beautiful piece of machinery already has the love handle in place, which is our newest upgrade. Makes the machine look snazzy, and it really helps in raising and lowering the head of the mixer. Alright, let's go ahead and take this thing apart and get into the meat of it. Now, one thing you might notice is this KitchenAid's newest design. Take a look, it does not have the brush caps on the side. Take a look at it side by side here. Up until about a year ago, they always had these brush caps that hid the carbon motor brushes. The new ones no longer have that.
And they removed those for a couple of reasons.
First, if you take out this brush right here, see how this end right here is keyed? Well, if you reinstall that improperly,
It'll result in no power when you go to turn on the machine, which was a customer service nightmare because this happens all the time.
Alright, we're going to tear this thing down a little bit further to show you the next reason why they were removed. We removed this drip ring, we punched out this pin, now it's time to pull out the planetary. Next, we got to come through and remove all of these screws. Now, these body screws here tend to rattle loose over time, which is why we upgrade these screws with a new screw and a lock washer to make sure that those are held in place. With all those screws out, we can go ahead and get these heads taken apart. Which leads me to the second reason why they got rid of the brushes. You see that little black box right there? That is actually the brush. It's now built into the motor. And here is a look at a motor pulled out of a machine. So now they come as a drop-in unit. They just slide right in and bolt in.
They manufactured over 3 million machines last year, and one thing they have to do is they have to speed up the process, so they built just a drop-in unit. Now, I don't know how I feel about this yet.
Because if these brushes fail, or this motor armature fails, or this field assembly fails, or this bearing bracket fails,
If any of this fails, you have to replace this entire unit, which is more expensive than replacing the individual parts. So anyways, that's why the brush caps were removed. They are now built into the motor.
moving along with the upgrade, you see this plastic rod right here? Well, that sits right on top of this motor and field assembly, and well, as you can tell, it gets hot and they melt. So we had to go out of our way and manufacture those in metal. We just preemptively changed this out. But with just a little finagling, we got a new metal one in place. Now that we got the inside taken care of, let's drop this baby back into place. Sometimes when you go to put the housings together, the gears don't line up and you'll have a gap in the housings, but if you just give this a light little twist, it should drop into place. Now we are putting our screws back in. Remember, these ones are going to be upgraded. And we got this thing put back together. It is sounding beautiful.
But we are not done yet. There are still a few upgrades that we need to add,
Starting with our quick install spring-in washer. So they removed the spring-in washer off of this beater shaft.
which caused a notable decline in the mixing experience.
But by simply splitting this spring like a key ring, and then twisting it up into place. And then we'll do the exact same thing with that washer. And just like that, you have a brand new spring-in washer. And then lastly, the Everdyne. So we got the head of the mixer. It is bouncing. But if we lift the head and we remove this screw right here in the neck, we can then slide that screw through the Everdyne like so. Now we'll go ahead, we'll screw this back down into place. Now we want to screw this down just far enough that when we put on a bowl and a paddle on the machine, and then drop a dime into the bottom of that bowl, that the paddle just passes around and gives that dime just a light flick on each rotation.
Now with the paddle just a dime's height off the bottom of that bowl, it means you're not going to have any unincorporated ingredients. And it also makes sure that your paddles aren't rubbing the bottom of that bowl and chipping like this. Now this machine is ready to go out the door. It has been fully upgraded and inspected. Now if you send a machine to us for repair or you order one, you could be eligible for a lifetime service guarantee. So make sure to check that out.